Hi friends, welcome to Jules Reads. I'm Jules. This is my weekly video where I talk about what I read and watched this week. It is week 35 of 2025. I do this video outside no matter what in Minnesota. It is in the low 60s right now. We have lots of birds and insects chirping, so you have that for some background noise. I do not have any backyard creature videos to share with you this week, nothing significant that I saw. And let's get right into it. The one book I finished was Stormfront by Jim Butcher. I did do this on audio. It was published in 2000 by Penguin ROC. This is the first book in the Dresden Files series, which includes 17 books. I did hear about this book from Mike's Book Reviews here on YouTube. It sounded like something I might be interested in. I don't normally like fantasy, but this is an urban fantasy, so I thought maybe I might be interested in it. Number 18 in the series is being released in early 2026. It has an average rating on Goodreads of 3.97. This book introduces us to Harry Dresden, a wizard for hire in Chicago. It blends urban fantasy and detective noir mystery. Harry consults with the police on a double murder that involves dark magic, but at the same time, he's investigating on his own a missing person case. Like I said, I'm not normally a fantasy reader, but I did really enjoy this. I love noir books as well, so I would highly recommend this if you like urban fantasy and noir detective crime type books. I do understand why this series has a cult following. Many fans feel like this book is their favorite in the series, or no, not the favorite. So this is their least favorite. If that's the case, I definitely want to continue on because I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. And so if it gets better, I am interested in hearing more. I did the audio. It's narrated by James Marsters. He is Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And at first the audio, the way it's narrated, caught me off guard. And I wasn't sure if I liked it. But once I did more research, I figured out why it was being narrated and edited the way it was, and I did really like it. I think if you like urban fantasy, I'm thinking of, I know I posted 2 books that it's similar to, but also I get a V.E. Schwab feel, like, what is her she has a series that's more of an urban fantasy series, and I compare it to that a little bit. I did read The Rivers of London, so it's a little bit like that. The Rivers of London, I did really like. I wish it wouldn't have had some problematic statements on women in there. I would have continued on, but there we go. So that's the only book I finished this week. What I'm currently reading, I'm doing another audiobook, and I actually started 2 and then I moved on to something else. I might come back to those, so I won't even mention them. But the one I'm enjoying and sticking with right now is called The Quiet Game by Greg Iles. And this book is a chunker. It's 580 pages, and I can't remember, I think it was 16 hours on audio. It has an average Goodreads rating of 4.23. This is the first book in the Penn Cage series, which there are 7 books in that series. This book is about Penn Cage, a former Houston prosecutor and novelist who returns to his hometown of Natchez, Mississippi after the death of his wife. He has a young daughter named Annie, and his parents still live in Natchez. So when he's moving back, he's living with them. He gets pulled in, when he moves back to Natchez, he gets pulled into a decades-old murder case that exposes corruption, racism, and family secrets. I'm enjoying this, and the narration is great. I think I did hear about this book from my sister-in-law. We were in Barnes & Noble maybe a year ago, and she pointed out that she really likes his books. So it's been on my radar for about a year, and I'm enjoying it. The other book I'm physically reading, I didn't make very much progress in it, but that is Perfume by Patrick Suskind. And this was first published in 1985 in German. This version is translated by John E. Woods. It's 296 pages. It is about a baby, Jean-Baptiste, born in the 1700s in Paris. And he has no body odor, yet his sense of smell is extraordinary and almost supernatural. I am just starting to get into the murdery part. He just murdered his first victim, and an innocent woman, but he loved her smell and he wants to make it, use that in his perfuming. And so I think I'm 60 pages in. I made a little progress this week, but not much. So I will definitely give more of an update next week when I finish this. For books I hauled this week, I went to Half Price Books and I got 3 books. I got Dracula by Bram Stoker. I wanted one where I could potentially annotate it and not feel bad about it. The only problem with this one is it is really small font. So there's that. But it's a pretty long book, like the ones that are regular size font and are long. This book is like 300 pages. I might do this on audio in tandem, just so I can really grasp it. I've never read Dracula. I think my husband reads it once a year. But yeah, it was only $5.99. They had a couple copies that looked like this. I really like it, like the foiling on it. So I got that one. And then the other one I got is Jennifer Egan, A Visit from the Goon Squad. I already had The Candy House, and I had been wanting to get this one. I bought this one quite a while ago, not even knowing what it was. I liked the cover so much. It's foily as well, that it was a cover buy for me. And I realized, oh, I think this is the prequel, or this is a sequel. And I almost bought the paperback that kind of matches this a little bit, but it's a paperback, so it matches the size. But then they were the same price as a hardcover. I'm not a huge hardcover fan. I prefer to actually read paperbacks, but I liked it. It has deckled edges, so I'm like, it's the same price as a paperback, so I'm gonna get it. And this is, let's see, I don't even know. I know this one, it actually won Pulitzer Prize or something. But it says Jennifer Egan's spellbinding interlocking narrative circle the lives of Benny Salazar, an aging former punk rocker and record executive, and Sasha, the passionate, troubled young woman he employs. Although Benny and Sasha never discover each other's past, the reader does, in intimate detail, along with the secret lives of a host of other characters whose paths intersect with theirs over many years in locales as varied as New York, San Francisco, Naples, and Africa. And let's read the first sentence. I wasn't going to do that with Dracula just because everyone knows Dracula. There's a spider crawling behind you guys right now. I could film that for you. All right. It began the usual way. In the bathroom of the Lassimo Hotel, Sasha was adjusting her yellow eyeshadow in the mirror when she noticed a bag on the floor beside the sink that must have belonged to the woman whose peeing she could faintly hear through the vault-like door of a toilet stall. That sounds good. So I picked up that one. And then I also got, which I'll talk about it in tandem here, I had looked up books that were similar to Remarkably Bright Creatures. I really liked that book this year. And it mentioned 2 books. It mentioned these books. The Traveling Cat Chronicles, and then The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. So I picked this one up. I already own this one. I wrote this down like, oh, I should get this one. I'm like, why does it sound familiar? I might have it. Well, yes, I did. It's been on my shelves for a few years. And it's a cute little book, short. The size is really cute. So I had this one on my list to get, and I found it. And the reason I wanted to go to Half Price Books to begin with was to get this cover. I did not want the movie adaptation cover. And you cannot get it on Amazon right now. So I got this. It was $8.49. I'm sure it would be cheaper, the movie cover from Amazon, but I don't like having movie cover adaptation covers. And it says, A.J. Fikry's life is not at all what he expected it to be. He lives alone. His bookstore is experiencing the worst sales in its history. And now his prized possession, a rare collection of Poe poems, has been stolen. But when a mysterious package appears at the bookstore, its unexpected arrival gives Fikry the chance to make his life over and see everything anew. Let's read the first couple sentences or two, or one or two. All right. On the ferry from the Hyannis to Alice Island, Amelia Lohman paints her nails yellow. That is weird because in the first sentence of the other book, she was putting on yellow eyeshadow. And while waiting for them to dry, skims her predecessor's notes. Island Books, approximately $250,000 per annum in sales, the better portion of that in the summer months to folks on holiday. Harvey Rhodes reports. All right, so I got those at Half Price Books. And then books on my radar, like I mentioned, was the Cat Chronicles and this book. But then there's another one I just saw, and I do not know. It is Hansel and Gretel by Stephen King, and then the illustrator of Where the Wild Things Are. So I do not know if this is like a retelling of Hansel and Gretel, or if this is like just like kind of sponsored by Stephen King and he's like the producer. I do not know anything about it. It is a picture book, so it looks like a kid's book, and it comes out I think on Tuesday. I'm interested in getting this. I love Stephen King, so that one is on my radar. All right, let's talk about movies and TV. We finished Survivor season 25, and now we're on season 26. And then I watched the Thursday Murder Club on Netflix, and it was okay. I'm not a huge fan of that book. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was just okay. And actually, if I'm thinking back on it now, it might not even be 3 stars for me. The movie was, I don't know, cheesy. It's like, is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know how to explain my thoughts on it. It was just okay. It's almost bubblegummy. I like things a little grittier and darker. Hopefully that makes sense. I think a lot of people are gonna love it, and I don't even remember the book well enough to say whether it follows the book that well. But a really good one I saw is The Life of Chuck. This is definitely a favorite movie of the year for me. This I bought on Apple Movies, and this is a short story. It's a novella by Stephen King. It's in his, I think it's in If It Bleeds, and it was so good. It's told in 3 parts, and they actually start with Act 3 and then go back in time. And I'm going to say some spoilers here, so if you don't want to know spoilers, I would just stop watching this video here. But you go back in time, or you start with, you're in his subconscious. He's dying. And this is the Tom Hiddleston character. This is Chuck. He's dying. He's only 39 years old. He has brain cancer. And in the beginning, the first act, which is actually Act 3, you're starting with, should I go this way? is you're in his subconscious. So it's a weird kind of dystopian. The world is ending. Electricity is going out. Internet's going out. There's some really good humor in it. And there's sinkholes. It's just the world is ending. And there's a lot of talk about the cosmic calendar, which is really fun to hear about. And then you jump to Act 2, which is the middle part, and it is him like 9 months before he dies. And you see him dancing on the street to a drummer and his relationships and all that. So that was just really, really good. But he's also discovering that he has brain cancer. And then you see him as a kid, which is my favorite part. It also has Sloane from Ferris Bueller's Day Off in it, and it has Luke Skywalker in it. And he's living with them, which are his grandparents. And he learns how to dance from his grandma, which is just so special. I love dancing, and I love the universe, the cosmic, all of that. So it just was a really special movie, and I highly recommend it. Even if you haven't read the novella, I have read the novella, but actually I think I like the movie more because I understood it better. I'm not sure I fully grasped the book, what was happening. And I even had a friend that texted me after she watched it. She's like, I don't understand the first act or it's actually Act 3, but it's the first part of the movie where you're in his subconscious. Because one of those actors actually appears in the first act when he's a kid. So, as he's dying, he's thinking about that teacher that's appears in the third act. Anyway, I'm not making any sense. I highly recommend it. It's going to be a favorite movie of mine of the year, and you don't necessarily have to read the book to enjoy it, but I did have to buy it on Apple. So that's all I have for this week. What are you guys reading and watching? I would love to hear, and I hope you guys are enjoying the weather where you're at. This is perfect weather for me. I love it. I'm going to go for a walk here soon. And yeah, in the 60s, 70s, I love it. I love fall, and I will chat with you guys soon. Take care.